Yo, what up? It's Teacher, one third of the beat production team, Sig Beats. Right now, I'm going to show you a tour of the studio before I go into the mix tutorial of how to mix a home recording. First off, we start off with the Chord Karma. This is similar to a Triton, same sounds, but it doesn't sample. It has something called the Karma function that allows you to do like some crazy things with the internal sounds. Really cool piece of equipment. Now we got my drum machine. This is the ASR-X. I know most hip hop studios got the MPC. The other two SIC studios got MPCs. You know, I don't. I sample and sequence on the computer, so I didn't really feel the need to, to purchase one. We have the amp. That's just to power the passive speakers. We have the Dangerous 2 bus. This is a summing unit. What its purpose is basically to sum the sounds. So what I do is I send sounds out of the computer to this and to sum it into 2 tracks. What it's supposed to do is simulate high end analog consoles, that summing, that analog goodness that the SSLs and Neves of the world have, for a fraction of the cost. This is my patch bay, not my patch bay, my monitor. This is where I change from speakers and mono and volume. It's a pretty good unit. It's a passive unit, so it doesn't destroy the sound too much. It's pretty cheap. It's only like $100 if you can still find it. I'm not sure if they still make it. Then we got some sound modules: EMU Vintage Pro and EMU Planet Fat. And here's my MIDI interface, Mode 2 Express XT. Can't go wrong with Mode 2 when it comes to MIDI interfaces. Then we go to the covert rack over here. We have a couple of patch bays. We have a benchmark digital audio converter. This is 8-channel unit. This is the 8-channel unit that I send to the Dangerous 2 bus. This is a discontinued unit, so you would probably have to find it on eBay or something like that. It's a very nice sounding unit. Benchmark makes quality products. This is my Night Pro EQ 3D. Like the name, it's an EQ. Another discontinued product, but it's like one of those gems. It has something called Airbus, which goes all the way up to 40K. So what you could do is turn it up to 40K, crank the air up. If you have like dull recordings, this thing is a lifesaver. And right here we have our monitoring digital audio converter. It's called the Benchmark DAC1. This is a very great unit. Like when it first came out, it broke new ground with price to performance. Now we have my compressor, DBX 160X2. I use this on the for parallel drum compressing. It's one of those classics. Has a nice gritty, snappy snare. Very gritty. I guess that's the best way that I can really describe it. And here's my preamp. It's the A Design MP2R. Has a very fat, clean sound, great for bass, and it's great for vocals. It's pretty much good for everything. It's a very clean, fast sound, if you know what I mean. Fast meaning it has a lot of top end, and it has a very fat bottom end. And we have the speakers. This is the Wharfdale 8.2A active meaning it has an amp already with it. This is what I use to monitor basically. Then we have the loudspeakers. This is what I would use to simulate. This is what I check mixes on. This is what I use to simulate, club environments, loud, big speakers, a lot of bass. Then we have the cheaper speakers. This is just to simulate like clock radios, lower end systems. So I can try to get the mix right on those too, because not everything's going to be played on a high end system. Now we're going to the home recording mixing portion. We have the track up here. I use Sonar X1 Producer. That's what I use. That's the latest iteration of Sonar. They actually changed the whole user interface now. It looks a lot more, I guess, like the other programs. It's more customizable. Now you have a track dock and you can, move things around. You can see, there's a lot of things you can customize. I like it. A lot more intuitive feel than the last versions, in my opinion. Anyway, here's the track. I'll play you the reference the talent did for me, so I don't go way too off when I'm mixing.
The stars are us. Believe that when I tell you. Check. The day commenced through the wall, cat shot, cracked the rhymes, intensive run the back and back the tools while I'm getting ready to step. Optimism is born with Mason's horn blaring, bearing black man's expression. Tempted to chill, I make my way out the door, paying homage at my own script. Building with the teacher in this bucket seat, small speech related to the sheep misled.
As you can see, it doesn't sound too bad, you know. It sounds definitely listenable, playable. But we're trying to, I guess, take it to that next level. Okay. So what I have here is the tracked out scenario, kick, snare, hi-hat, sample. And what I do before I even listen to anything is I double up all the tracks. For the kick and the snare, purpose of doubling the track is for parallel compression. Maybe I'll even do a tri-parallel compression. Maybe I'll triple the tracks. It all depends the sound. For hi-hats and samples and melodies, I double it up to get a true stereo effect. Stereo isn't just hard panning left and hard panning right and just leaving it. That's mono. Stereo is, you know, panning left and right, yes, but it's also processing the left and right in a different way to give it a bigger sound. You know what I mean? If it gives it a more width and depth, a more sense of width and depth. You know, it's about mixing, you know, it's about tricking the ear, making it hear things that's not really, you know, happening or weren't there before. So I'm just gonna play the tracked out version without any leveling or panning. No, that's the next step that I do, level and pan. So I'm just gonna play it.
Stars are us. Believe that when I say check. The day commenced through the wall, cat shot, cracked the rhymes.
You hear, you know, you can hear right off the top the levels are off, you know, vocals too low, etc., etc. But as you can hear, the sounds still sound pretty good, and that's, you know, that's important. All right, so now, like I said, the next step would be to get the levels properly. That'd be the next step. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, and with the video, I'll be posting the reference track as well as what I just did as far as leveling and panning, so you can just see a step-by-step process of how the track changes. So the next segment, you know, I'll probably do some effects and things like that, so on and so forth. So I guess everybody have peace out, I guess.